Welcome back to another review video. I hope you guys enjoyed the last full review video of the TT-02 Lancer Evolution 5 on the TT-02. As I mentioned, there will be two project cars, this one being the first one, so I've done the essential upgrade by means of I have installed the chassis based on the installation guide, and the only upgrade that I've installed are the full ball bearings, the titanium hex screw, the center propeller shaft, as well as the front and rear propeller cup. I've also installed the front and rear oil damper. The motor and the ESC came with the kit, so the only electronics that I have installed are the receiver, the servo, which is 15 kilo, as well as the battery to power the car, and obviously I use my own radio transmitter as well. So this first project TT-02 car is finally done, and the reason why me and my friends have decided to get two of these cars each is because we want to build the first one as a pretty much stock car, basically running almost everything that came with the Tamiya TT-02 kit, including the torque tune motor, the stock ESC, and the chassis, etc. And in this video, I'm going to go through what I've planned for my second project car of the TT-02, which is also a Lancer Evolution 5 body. And hopefully you guys will enjoy this video, and also hopefully it will give you some ideas or insight on how to upgrade your TT-02 to make it go faster. We're not talking about crazy speed that breaks 80-90 miles per hour. The goal is to build the second project car, which is a lot faster than the standard or the stock version, but is still, you know, with good handling and pretty good speed to go around the track. And without further ado, I will just show you guys what I've got planned. So the first TT-02 project cars, you guys have seen it quite a lot of times in the videos as well as on the photo posts. So if you haven't seen it, then do click back on my channel. You will find a full review of this first project car of TT-02. This is the second one. Again, the same car, Lancer Evolution 5 on the TT-02 chassis. And this one also comes with the torque tune motor as well as the Hobbywing 1060 ESC, but we won't be using it. And I know you guys have already seen the unboxing of the TT-02 video, but you know, for some of you who is new to my channel, welcome. And I'll just do a very quick unboxing of what you will expect to see inside the TT-02 chassis kit. So very quickly, you will see the attached Hobbywing 1060 ESC. You have a bag of hardware, all the screws, the suspension coil, some gearing. You have the basic plastic and copper bushing, and the torque tune motor, which is fairly good if you are only into building the kit and then drive the car around rather than being competitive. Or if you're planning to join the Tamiya Cup race, you could use this, or you could use your own motor, depends on the race regulation as well. So this is a hardware bag, and on this runner, this is basically your rear wing as well as the scoop on the roof and side mirrors. And obviously you have the clear Lexan body. The wheel arches are pre-cut, so they have done the hard bit for us. You just need to trim the front and rear bumper and the side skirt, and then the body will come out. And obviously you need the Tamiya PS paint or your own paint to airbrush. And what's next? You have 4 tires, which doesn't come with inserts. You have the twin 6-spoke wheels, by Tamiya. You have the foam for the front bumper. You have the bags basically for the suspension tower, some of the steering links. You have the diff gear housing, and here you have the top chassis. And as I mentioned in my last video, this one, you can see the arrow is pointing as ABS. So this chassis is the ABS body, and there's also option of ABS mixed with glass fiber and ABS mixed with carbon fiber. So that's CF and GF next to ABS. And here you have some bumpers, some suspension arms, mounting posts, etc. And here you have the propeller cups as well as the propeller itself and some dog bones. And next runner you have the strap for the batteries, the cover for your pinion and spur gears, some air duct for cooling your motor, some motor mount, and the receiver box. And you have the paperwork, the instructions on how to build the TT-02 chassis, as well as the specific Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 5 data sheets to show you how to put the decals and how to install the wing mirror and the rear wing. And here you can see there is also a antenna tube for you to use. And very lastly, you have the masking sticker to mask all the windows for you to paint or airbrush the body. And it also comes with a bunch of stickers that you need to cut out and apply it yourself. Nothing too difficult. It is fairly straightforward. So that's everything that you will find inside the TT-02 chassis kit. And obviously you will need to buy your own servo, you will need to buy receiver, radio transmitter, and battery as well. Now the basic is done. Let's get into the more interesting stuff. I prefer my purple color over the traditional silver color of the Evo 5. I don't know, what do you guys think? I think maybe because I've done this body airbrush myself, so it has the sentimental value, and I think the color looks really cool and it pops on the body. So anyway, let's crack on. So in order to make my second project car of the TT-02 to go faster than the first project car that runs on the torque tune, basically there's quite a lot of stuff that you will need if you are really into racing your TT-02 in the Tamiya Cup or at your local Tamiya Cup. So first thing, if you want the car to go fast, you need a faster motor. The standard torque tune motor that came with the Tamiya TT-02 kit is a brush motor, so it is drivable. I won't say it's too fast. It's definitely slow enough for you to learn how to handle the TT-02, but if you are into racing and you want to race it with your friends or at your local club, then it is better to upgrade to a faster motor. You can get a faster brush motor or get a faster brushless motor, which is what I've got here. So this one is by eTronics and it is the Fountain SBS. So very quickly I'll show you what it looks like inside. So inside the box you have a data sheet, and if you remove this cover you basically have the ESC with the cooling fan, and this is your brushless motor, so that would help your TT-02 or any of your touring car to go a lot faster. And my one, it comes with the programming card as well, very similar to the Hobby Wing program card, but this one is quite a lot smaller, but it is very similar. and you have the programming at the back as well, which is really cool. I'll probably spend some time playing with the settings once the TT-02 project car number 2 is built. So for now, I just want to show you the hardware that I'll be putting onto the car. So this is the brushless motor. Next, if you are getting a brushless motor to your TT-02 or your TT-01 Type E, then you need to make the car, basically the chassis, a lot stronger, because with a faster motor, very likely you will feel the chassis have torque tweaks, which I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. And also, you know, with the stock TT-02, the tuning is fairly basic. Basically, the option that you have is adjusting the wheelbase distance, the track width, you could adjust that, and also the ride height, you could adjust that by flipping the front steering knuckle and the rear upright. And that's pretty much it. If you want the TT-02 to go faster, you could change the motor, but if you're planning to make your TT-02 or TT-01E to go a lot faster, then get one of these brushless motor. But you can't just get the brushless motor because the car is very likely will fall apart and some of the parts will break as well. So you're upgrading the engine or the heart of the TT-02, you need to upgrade quite a lot of other stuff to go with the power as well. So bear in mind. So there's like a million different things to upgrade on the TT-02, and to make my life easier, I've decided to go for the, what do you call it? It is by Yar Racing, which is a very popular brand, and this is the Magenta kit specifically for the TT-02. It is set on the tin, high performance aluminum conversion kit, and this is a collaboration project with Atsushi Hara himself, which is a very famous touring car racer. And inside this box is basically all the tunable parts for your TT-02, specifically to the TT-02. So you can't really use these if you are running a TT-01 or TT-01E chassis. And here there's a breakdown of what is included inside the box. But you know, this one being a brand new box, I haven't seen it myself, but let's take a look at this together. Right, we have a bunch of stuff inside the box. So first you have the, what is this? This is the adapter or the mount for your spur gear with some hardware. And then you have the, I think this one is the front upper suspension arm, which is adjustable. There's a turnbuckle to make the adjustment. You can change the camber angle. Actually, this is the rear one. This is the front one with the steering pivot board. And again, it has the turnbuckle to do the adjustment for the front and rear camber. Here, that's the front turning or steering knuckle. So all of these parts are aluminium block, which is really nice. The color is pretty cool too. I think it goes well with the purple color on my first project car, but I think it will probably be too much purple if I sprayed my second body to the same color, so I definitely won't be doing that. I haven't decided what color to do the second project car, but hopefully it will be a color that match with this nice purple or magenta color. Next you have the front bumper mount, So it has the Magenta logo on it. I think most of these parts, they have the Magenta logo on them as well. If it's not fully spelled out the Magenta, then you have the M logo. Yep. Next, you have this one, which are the holders that press down to clamped onto the bearings for the front and rear area above the center propeller shaft. So this has the Magenta logo again. And here you have the brackets to hold the suspension arm. Where's the M logo? Oh, it's here, it's on the side. It's very nice. And then you have the hex adapter for the wheels. And maybe these one, they won't have the M logo. I don't think they have, I can't see it. And you have the motor mount. Again, the Yao Racing and the Magenta logo. The rear upright, Magenta logo again. This one is for the front. Instead of the front gear differential, you have the straight shaft for this one, which basically offer better control. So for this kit, the front shaft will be locked and the rear is still open differential, which I will go through more later in this video. And this one doesn't look like it has the Magenta logo. And I think these are the drive cups. So that's two here. And this is the steering turnbuckle for the front, so you could adjust the toe in for the front and rear, actually, like the combination of them. And here you can see the drive shaft for the front wheel, I presumed, and this one, which is exactly the same. So one is for the front and one is for the rear. And on the dog bone, you can see is the Yao Racing logo. And then you have should have two, right? You have two of these, numbers 061. So they are the front and rear diff case housing. So again, it has the Magenta logo, as well as, what else does it say? It's caution, and probably caution for the moving parts from the shaft, and then the Magenta logo at the rear, and above you have the powered by Yao Racing. Very nice. And you also have the carbon fiber shock tower. Very cool. So for front and rear, they're both carbon fiber. And here you have the front steering mechanism, or the links. So again, you have the Magenta logo. It's very cool. And then you have the Yao Racing cooling fan with the mounting bracket. So the bracket, it has the Magenta color, but it doesn't look like it has the Magenta logo, but that's okay. You have the Yao Racing logo on the fan. And here you have the front and rear oil damper, and it looks like there's spare or different rating spring coils for you to choose. The shocks looks really nice. I like them. And at the tower cap, you can see the Magenta logo. I'm sure it's the same for all of them. Yep. You can see the logo here. And then you have a lot of ball joints, as well as the piston that you could fine-tune how your oil damper responds. So you can see some with 2 holes, some with 3. Very nice. Next, you have the Magenta center propeller shaft, very similar to the Tamiya one, just that the color is, from blue to the magenta purple color, and then instead of Tamiya, you have Magenta logo. And you have the battery strapped, again, full aluminum block with the Magenta logo. That's very nice. And then you have some stickers from Racing, and a piece of paper, actually multiple of them. Right, okay, instead of one booklet, they decided to split all of them. So here is basically, it teaches you how to set the rear upper arm is actually labeled up here, the rear upper arm. So you set the distance with the what do you call it, the caliper, so you know exactly you're getting the 5.4 mil distance. So that's for the rear upper arm. And then you have the turnbuckle set for Tamiya. It's actually titanium, so you can adjust the toe in and toe out. Here is the aluminium ball bearing set for the steering. And this is the motor mount. So it teaches you how to set the motor position correctly. And then you have the spur gear adapter, the graphite front and rear main shaft bearing holder, which we have seen, the steel universal shaft. So we get 4 of them, 2 for the front, 2 for the rear, and the main drive shaft, the propeller shaft. Need to install the O-ring. I haven't seen the O-ring as yet. I'll have a quick look to see if I could find it. Otherwise, I have to kind of source my own. I'm sure I've got some in the toolbox. And this one is the aluminium adjustable front upper arm set. So you can set the camber for the front. And then there's 2 larger print. So one of them is to teach you how to install the suspension, the coil suspension. So you can put the shock oil, and they recommend it 450. But for my own preference, I liked it a bit lighter, so I'll be using 350. So that's how to install your shocks. Pretty easy. And the last one is to install the gearbox cover as well as the shock tower for the front and rear. It's very clear instruction basically. I just wish that Racing have printed them as a small booklet rather than, having pages and pages of loose instruction. So that's everything inside the box. So let's have a very quick look to see if we could find. There you go, I missed it earlier. That's the rubber ring for the center drive shaft. So I'm glad we have that. So now I'm going to put everything back inside the box, and then we could move on. I don't want this video to be too long, but I still have quite a lot of upgrade parts to show you guys, so bear with me. I'm sure this is going to be an amazing machine. Gosh, I can't even speak properly. Right, that's the Magenta kit. And next, I talk about faster motor. You need the upgrade parts so that they could handle the speed. And on the chassis, instead of the ABS chassis, I have decided to go for the harder one. So you can always find this, which is 54926, and this is the TT-02 lower deck with the harder particles. And to show you, remember we saw the one inside the kit, the chassis, the top chassis is made by ABS, and on this one you can see the arrow. Let me try and find it. So the arrow is pointing at ABS-GF, which is mixed with glass fiber, rather than pointing at the bottom ABS. So this is the reinforced with glass fiber, and basically you could see the pattern on the actual tub. You can see how they mix the glass fiber, which is cool, and definitely this tub would feel harder than the ABS, and it also illuminates the torque twist when you're using the high power brushless motor. So with the tub, you avoid the torque twist for the under chassis. So on the upper deck, I have also gone for one of these, which is the Yar Racing carbon fiber upper deck for TT-02. So this basically mount on top of the front and rear diff case housing. So it will stop the bottom chassis or the bottom tub from doing this on hard braking before the corner. So it is very essential to have this kind of, I call it the spine for the chassis, but the proper term is the upper deck. Next we have, gosh, where to start? Let's show you the shock oils first, because we spoke about the instruction. It recommends you to use 450, but my preference is to use the 350. So this is a bit lighter, so the suspension can move faster. And obviously it depends on the track that you are planning to take your TT-02 or TT-01E to. So that's just my preference, to go on the hard tarmac on a track, or even on a concrete track. I'd like the suspension to work, you know, to respond a lot faster, so I use a lighter weight oil. So 350 is my recommendation. And then you need this diff gear grease. As I mentioned, with the Magenta kit, the front shaft is now locked rather than having the open diff. So the front left and right wheel spin at the same time. And for the rear, I'm going to add the heavier weight of grease. So basically still open diff, but just with a heavier weight. I mean, this one might be a little bit too heavy, so I might try and find one which is a lot lighter, maybe a 5000 to use in the rear. But I bought this. Potentially I could either use it on the TT-02 if I want the rear to spin slower, or I probably will use this on my TRF-421 moving forward. So I might not use this, but it's good to have it. And then here you have, what do you call it, the high performance lithium grease. So you can use this to lube all the joints, the drive shaft, etc. You can find your own. You don't have to follow, you know, my preference. And I also have this anti-wear grease, which is for metal, because there is a reason. I know the gear or differential gears are plastic from this kit, and you know, you could use normal grease, but I bought this because I know I probably will use some of these on my fast tune TT-02, and mainly I bought this for my TRF-421. You will know why in my next video, or the next video when I decide to build the Tamiya TRF-421. So I just need to have this in hand. Next, remember we've seen this in my previous video. This is the adapter to help mounting the tire on the wheel. So I won't be using the stock wheels and tires from the TT-02 kit, because they are only good for, you know, if you are running the torque tune motor, or if you're going to a very strict Tamiya cup race, you need to use the standard wheels and tires. You can't even put insert, so you need to glue the tire with this. But for the fast speed built TT-02, I need this again, because I bought a set of new rubber tire, and this, let me show you, it comes with slick tire, so you get much better traction, and it is a dish wheel as opposed to the opened one like this. And this one also come with, let me show you, it comes with inserts. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. That's the insert inside, but they're not glued. So as I mentioned last time, it is good to have one of this tire gluing tool. So you put the tire in with the wheel and then you press down and it'll create that gap for you to put in the glue. So you just use one of these tire glue and you can glue your tire. And remember, once you have done the top side, you need to pop it back out, flip it, and then you need to do the other side as well. Make sure both sides are glued properly. Strongly recommend you to get one of these. This is very, very handy, and obviously it comes with the different adapter for mounting the M Tamiya car. So let's put this back, and the next thing I want to show you is related to the wheels, because I'm using the Magenta kit with a lot of purple, so I thought with the black wheels it will look pretty nice if I go with the purple locking wheel nuts as well. So these is made by Fast Tracks, and it is the matching color to the, sorry about the glare and the reflection. So this goes with the magenta color. It's not a must-have, it's just my personal preference. And then now I probably need to bring out the glass fiber mixed ABS chassis again. So I mentioned this is the glass fiber top with this carbon fiber spine to make it more rigid. I also have some extra parts to mount onto the bottom of the chassis. So you have this one, which is made by carbon fiber. So this is the down stop for the front and rear. So basically it will stop your suspension arm for the rear and front to drop too far down. So it limits the suspension travel downwards. So they are called the down stopper. And this is the carbon fiber. I think it will go nicely with the carbon fiber spine. And then I also have this extra piece, which I just thought, why not? Because it looks cool. This one doesn't actually do anything apart from it looks good. And this basically, it will go in, which way? I think it's that way, sorry. So it's just to stop any small pebbles or small stone which get flicked up from the front wheel, and then you'll have a collection of debris here. And this one is basically you just put it on top here to block out all of this trough. That's it. So it's just easier to clean the chassis after the race. You don't really need to get this, but it's cheap and cheerful, and it looks nice with the other carbon fiber bits on the chassis. And then this is, I can't even remember what this is for. This is, I think it's something to do with making the steering with less flex. So you pretty much mount this piece up here, and it would illuminate the shapes from the steering links. I bought this a little while ago. I can't remember exactly where it fits, but it definitely goes somewhere here. Right, now back to what we have done to the original Project 1 car. I also bought the titanium hex screw, just my personal preference. I like the hex screw rather than the Tamiya JIS screw. So back of these is essential to me. And what else is essential? It's basically a must-have. You need to have the ball bearings. So you need the 54476 Tamiya ball bearing set for your TT-02. So I have the same thing fitted on my first project car, even though it's running on the stock torque tune motor, but you need that. You need all of these so that your car could run smoother. And then I have this. I know I've already shown you the main propeller shaft, which is up here, that purple dry shaft here. And this kit doesn't come with the front and rear shaft cup, so I have to buy my own. And this is by Yar Racing for TT-02, and it comes with the O-ring as well. So even though if the Magenta one didn't come with one, there is one with the propeller cups, which is good. So now I've got a spare one. Next, because I'm upgrading it to the brushless motor and also sensorless, I've decided to change the pinion gear. So this one is a, come on, focus, 24T 0.6 module steel pinion, and it comes with the grub screw as well, so you can attach this to the brushless motor. And obviously I will need to pair it to the 51423, which is the 68 teeth spur gear, so it will make the car go a lot faster than the standard gearing. And now, as I mentioned about the differential gear grease, why my camera struggled to focus. Anyway, so with this kit, I already mentioned the front drive shaft will now be fixed and the rear will still be opened, but the standard diff housing, it doesn't give you the option to add the diff oil. So I have decided to go for the Tamiya 54875, which is specific to the TT-02. Is the oil gear differential unit. So here you can see you have the bigger gear, the outer gear, the diff housing, which I believe is also made by or mixed with ABS mixed glass fiber. You can kind of tell from the color and the pattern. And here you can see the differential gears. They are metal rather than plastic, which came with the TT-02 kit. So with the metal gear, it is good to use the anti-wear metal grease as well. So that's the reason, part of the reason I have got the anti-wear metal grease is for these little guys. And there's also some differential gear oil as well, so I'll test it to see how thick that is. If not, I'll be using my own. And also here it looks like it comes with the two metal ball bearings as well, so you have one on each side of the diff housing or diff case. So I mean, I already have, I'm pretty sure, the two already included in this ball bearing set. So now they provided two with the gear differential unit, so that means I will have two spare from here. I'm sure they are the same. So anyway, and to make this car go fast, you also need a stronger servo. So with a stronger servo, basically if you use the standard plastic servo holder, which basically screw onto the plastic tubs, you will still see the servo and the servo horn. When you turn the steering, you see the plastic shift slightly, So to eliminate any movement, you can always install one of these aluminium servo holder. So this one is by Yar Racing, and it is a aluminium servo mount. So it kind of goes with the blue that I have for the front and rear cups, but ideally I would like this in a purple color to go with the majority of the upgrades, but so be it. And then I have the servo horn, which is a 25 tooth servo horn. Kind of go with the little bit of blue on top of the majority of the purple. And obviously I'll need a receiver. I have this one spare, which is the one from Dumbo RC, but if this car is going to be a fast touring car, I think I probably would pair it with my new FlySky Noble NB4 Pro Plus, such a long name. But if you guys haven't seen that review video of the high grade handset transmitter, then take a look on my channel, you will find it. One thing that I haven't got here, I forgot to take it out from the box, is the high kilo servo. On this one I will be using, I think, either 15 kilo or 20 kilo servo to go with the servo mount because of the high speed from the brushless motor. And very lastly, I have this as well. So I had a red one by MyLapse on my TT-01E before, and also for my what do you call it, the TA-08 chassis. I have the MyLapse kind of a sensor or the lap timer, but I had the red one before. It cost about £50 to buy from the, you know, any good RC online shops, and this one is the Pro version, which is RC4 Pro, as it said on the label. And this one, basically they changed the color from the bright red to black, and also this cable is a lot shorter, so you don't have to worry about, you know, cable tying the long cable on the red one. And this RC4 Pro is going to be, well, I'll need to use it on the Tune TT-02 because it's a fast touring car. I want to see how fast it can go around the local track, and because this is quite expensive. I think this is about 99 or 98 pound, I can't remember, so it's quite expensive for a very small device. So I will be sharing this. I actually bought it for my TRF 421, which is a track weapon, but because this car is so kind of fully upgraded and running the brushless motor, I want to be able to kind of time the lapse time. So I will be using this on this car first before I'll remove it, and it will be permanently installed on my TRF 421. So it's good to have. I mean, you don't have to buy it because it is quite expensive, especially this one costs close to £100. The cheaper one, the red one, is about, I think it's about 50, or maybe I've mistaken another brand that's also a little red device. It's about £50. It's good to have your own, but you could always borrow this from your local kind of racetrack if they have. Most of them have, I believe. You could borrow them, but you know, it's better to have your own. So do consider this if you have the spare budget to spend on the RC4 Pro. And that's pretty much everything that I'm going to chuck onto the TT-02 chassis. Hopefully it will turn out fine. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this second project car build. Definitely it will go a lot faster than the stock purple one. And you know, if you guys are into tuning your TT-02 or TT-01, E, it's very similar chassis, then, you know, let me know what you guys think of the upgrade parts that I have shared here, whether I have missed out something, or do you think I have bought something that kind of wasted my money, basically. Do let me know. And one thing that I would like to get, you know, some of your opinion is, I don't know what color I'm going to airbrush the second body. The first one is purple. The second one, I don't want it to be purple again, because it will just clash with all of these internal aluminium magenta color, purple color parts. So I need to find a color that will go well with the upgrade parts and also look good on the Lensa Evolution 5. So give me some ideas. It would be much appreciated. And I guess that is it. This video is long enough. I don't want to bore you guys for too long. Hope you guys find this video somewhat entertaining and helpful, and also give you the idea and insight on how to upgrade your TT-02. So until the next video, whenever it may be, either it would be the building process video of the second TT-02 project car, or it might be fully done with all the upgrade parts minus the body, or I don't know, because some of my viewers, I know you guys are not just, you know, focusing on the RC cars. I know you guys enjoy watching the Gundam building, or the fully built Gundam, or model cars reviewed, or any model review. So I'll need to plan ahead to see what my next video is going to be, but promise it is going to be a good video. And this project is going to take me a little bit of time, so bear with me if you don't see the next video in a few days or a week. I'm also, you know, busy doing other stuff at the same time. So until the next video, take care, enjoy building your TT-02 or any other touring cars chassis. Have fun upgrading them. There's loads of upgrade parts out there. Before I go, if some of you ask me whether it is good to run the TT-02 or TT-01E in stock form or upgrade, then my answer is it really depends on you. If you're planning to build it as a shelf queen, then just buy the kit on its own. You don't even need to upgrade the shaft or the bearings or the screw, nothing. Just build it and paint it up. It will look nice on the shelf. And if you are into driving it, then I would definitely recommend you to change at least the ball bearings. It's a must-have. And apart from the ball bearings, you don't really need anything. You don't even need to change the shaft or the shaft cup or the screw. No need. You just change the ball bearings. Your TT-02 will run very smoothly with the torque tune motor, with the ESC, etc. And a lot of people prefer to keep the TT-02 in stock form because they can really test out how the TT-02 was designed from Tamiya factory, how they intend their buyer to enjoy the TT-02 or TT-01E chassis. So not changing a lot is a good thing. You can really learn how the car handled, how Tamiya intend for us to enjoy the TT-02 or the TT-01E chassis. So you can do that. You don't have to go crazy fast with your friends or at the local track or even in the park. The standard torque tune motor is fast enough for you to enjoy the TT-02 chassis. And obviously you don't want to crash and break or crack your lovely Laxan body. So, you know, do play around with the stock TT-02 before considering any upgrades. But if you're like myself, which you have played a lot of TT-01s before on the nitro engine, etc., then you might not feel it is exciting to drive a stock TT-02. You might want to upgrade it straight away. So, you know, all depends on you. But what I'm saying, even the stock form TT-02 is very fun, and which is also part of the reason why me and my friends decided to buy two, one to keep in stock form, one to fully upgrade it. So me and my friend will be going to the local track to basically have to a race or a few races with the stock tune or minimum tune, so you know what the TT-02 is made of. And then the second project car, which we are all trying to put in different bits of upgrade to make the second project car go a lot faster. And again, the second car I'll be racing with my friends as well. And you know, if the tuning is limitless, you can put whatever upgrade parts. You can put a much faster brushless motor if you want, but then it's really hard to control unless you're planning to just do a drag race, which is totally what we are planning to do. We want to do a track racing, so we will limit ourselves on the motor speed, obviously, but you know, the remaining option parts are entirely up to us. So you know, spend the money to make the car faster. It's a, you know, different kind of race. Racing the stock TT-02 is also very enjoyable. I'm sure you guys would agree. It is very similar to kind of racing a real car. For example, I remember back in the day, some of my friends, they would like to buy a Civic Type R or the Integra Type R, and then they would like to they would like to install the option parts or the upgrade parts to make the car go faster. And then, you know, a few years later, as the year passed, then, you know, they want to learn about, you know, how Honda intends to design and build the Civic Type R and the Integra Type R for the end user to enjoy. So then, you know, you see a fluctuation of people which they are previously into modifying the car. Now they kind of strip all the upgrade parts and try to put the Civic and Integra Type R back to the stock form to enjoy the stock engine, stock handling, etc. And you know, it's a different type of enjoyment to test out the stock form. So I won't say it's 100% necessary to upgrade your TT-02 from stock to a super fast touring car. Some of you guys might not enjoy the car being too fast. It's hard to handle. You don't want to crash the car and then end up spending more time trying to fix it and maintain the car. So the stock form is very fun. So if you don't have a lot of budget, stick with the stock tune TT-02. It is a lot of fun. I've done it myself, so I can tell you, you know, from my experience. Not from the TT-02. I have played the TT-01 before, so it is a very similar concept. The stock car is fun when you have the experience and you want the car to go a lot faster, and when you and your friends become more competitive, then find the upgrades to tune up the car. And that is it. I hope that sums up everything, and I will leave you guys. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and keep following the new upcoming contents, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.